13. My next guest, one of my favorite products, Altronix. You guys are awesome. Altronix.com. For my podcast listeners, Altronix.com, correct?
That's correct.
Excellent, Mr. J.R. Andrews. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right, now Altronix you're the power guys, the power suppliers, the power sources, whatever you want to call it.
More than just power.
That's right. That's I'm downselling it. Tell us what you guys do.
So, Altronix is a global leader in the power and data transmission market, really providing power for low voltage products, within our industry, multiple levels, whether it's traditional analog power all the way to power over Ethernet, Ethernet over coax, and things of that nature.
Now, can you help me with my hybrid car? It doesn't get as good as mileage in the batteries it's supposed to. Probably not.
I can't do that. Those are batteries. We need real power.
But your power sources and how you interact with these systems and stuff really gets you more mileage out of your systems. Is a good way to describe it, right?
That's a great way to describe it. It's like having the maintenance people for your vehicle with you at all times.
Right.
It's the ability to know what's going to happen with your car before it happens, rather than having to change the tire, when you're on the highway. You do it when you get some time on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, my memory's a little bad, but I think 2 years ago I talked to Alan, and you guys were working on the ability to remotely monitor people's power sources.
Exactly.
Just like you just said, right?
Exactly.
So for my HP computer, whose power source has gone out 3 times, wish I had something like this that I could say, it's going to go out and not lose all my data, right?
There you go.
And this is where people forget about this. If your power's out, it's not the hardware. I can replace that. But
Right.
if my data gets corrupted or gone, I got a big problem.
Absolutely, and in the security industry, there's a lot more to lose, right? It's a mission critical environment.
Right.
There's no time for downtime, so to speak, and really that network technology is being driven by the innovation of the integrators that we work with. Our constituents who are looking to improve the profitability of their service departments. All the way to then the end users who say, hey, look, I want to know when I lose a battery before I also lose AC power.
Right.
Because once I lose both of those, nothing's working, and I got a problem.
Yeah. Now, is it as common a problem as it sounds?
I would say it absolutely is.
Okay.
It's a very common problem, but it's also one that that people are really just starting to grasp and understand how to harness the power of having this kind of information. Some industries, the IT industry, for instance, that's something that naturally they do. They're monitoring power strips, for
Right.
instance. But for our industry, I think many people are just starting to realize and come to grips with harnessing that technology.
I'll tell you a funny story. I'm at Fox. X-Files is the #1 show in the world, literally, right? And we go live on Sunday. No, well, I'm not saying live. We're playing the show on Sunday, and I get a call that the power went out, but that's okay because the generators kicked in. All right. Well, guess what? About a half hour later, the generators had not kicked in. It went to uninterrupted power source. We were running the station on batteries. It went off the air.
Wow.
That cost $125,000 a minute. It was down for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and
this is a broadcast station. You think we would have had a little better monitoring ability to know that the generator was not on? Now, this is back in the 90s. I mean, things have come a long way.
Yeah.
But this is the sort of thing of business disruption that can happen through just sheer oops, instead of sitting on top of it. So tell us how Altronix could have helped me in that situation.
Well, ultimately, just like we're discussing, with the monitoring of the power supplies, the battery sources, knowing whether a device is pulling more current than it's supposed to, those kind of things can tell you when something's about to fail before it does.
Right.
So again, batteries, battery backup, generators, things of that nature, they need that kind of maintenance, but it's nice if the generator tells you when it needs maintenance rather than waiting until a failure takes place.
Now, I'm assuming you accomplish this by making Altronix power supplies. Just like everybody else, it's an appliance on the network. You're connected to the network. You're setting data back, analytical data,
Yes.
to monitor that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Here's what I worry about. Mark my words, somebody's going to take the grid down. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. I'm not a doomsday guy, but it's just logical.
It's very negative.
And that's a problem, right?
True, yeah.
Would you say that people's power supplies are one of those targets to do that? I mean, you can turn off the big switch at the big generator plant, but how about everybody's watching that, and the average security company's not watching their power supply, right? Inside their computer, inside their network. How vulnerable do you think people are with their current non-high-tech power supplies like yours?
Well, I mean, the vulnerabilities exist, and really they exist once you put them on the network as well,
Right.
at the same time. So there's a lot to think about. Cybersecurity comes into play, things of that nature. But you're absolutely right. I mean, that's, again, why, in the professional security market, bringing direct high-voltage power to the power supply is important rather than just plugging it into a wall
Right.
where anybody can access it, unplug it, and then you have nothing.
Now, this is kind of off subject, but where are we with bringing the internet over electrical current? It can be done technically, right?
Well, as long as you don't walk into the current, I think you'll be okay. You just got to know where it is.
I mean, anything you're working on technology-wise, it would, if you got the power source and you can run the internet through that power source, maybe that's a network that's not as penetrable.
No, I would say that again, anytime you're on the network, there's some penetration. When we talk about being able to send Ethernet or data over existing infrastructures and cabling, that's a technology that's designed to really just save the end users, the integrators, a lot of time and money rather than ripping and replacing and things of that nature.
Altronix.com, J.R. Andrews, Altronix.com, on the web. What's your booth number?
Our booth is 2823. Come visit us.
You guys always had the best looking booths. That's no lie.
Thank you very much. That's
I
all.
bet you win awards for it. It's unbelievable.
Alan,
really good.
Alan and Vinny. Little shout out.
Oh,
there.
Alan's great. Alan,
Kirby
nice
too.
to see you again. All right, thanks for coming on SecurityGuideTV.com. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Great interview, my friend.
Appreciate
Back in a minute here with more interviews at ASIS 2017. Hello, Miss Sarah. All right, we're out.